Hi everyone, welcome back to CrossTalk podcast. I'm Tomoya.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
Before we dive in, I want to give a big shout to our listener Hiro-san, who sent us this request about his Brisbane roundabout adventure.
Oh, roundabouts. Oh, okay.
Hiro shared his experience driving in Brisbane, Australia, with an international driving license.
Okay.
So he was scared when he first encountered this roundabout.
Right. I don't think there are that many roundabouts in Japan. So it's kind of a Western, one point of Western driving culture, right?
It is indeed.
Okay. I can understand why he would be nervous.
Yes. So I remember being in one of those multi-lane roundabouts. I think it was scary. I somehow ended up in the inner lane.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hit me, how do I get out from here? I was, driving round and round, and it's a never-ending story.
So when you go to driving school in Japan, do they teach you how to drive and get out of a roundabout?
No, there's no roundabouts in the driving practice school.
Okay.
There's only, regular corners there.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I can understand why like Hiro-san and you would be kind of panicked because it is kind of a strange situation.
Like usually, how many lanes roundabout have in your hometown?
Oh, my hometown has lots of roundabouts actually.
Usually, how many lanes?
3 or 4 lanes.
Oh,
So multi-lane, like
Okay.
you were in.
Yes.
So the reason my city has a lot of roundabouts is because there's one part of town where a lot of really, really wealthy people live.
yes.
And there's a big road going from south to north and then north to south. So 3 lanes on each side. And then in between, in the middle, there's a big patch of grass. And then inside there are fountains and statues and trees and gardens and things because the wealthy people want to make their area look nice, right? So they've
Yes.
got this huge wide avenue with lots of gardens and fountains and things. But they didn't want to have stoplights. And so they made the city put in roundabouts. So in that part of my city, we have a lot of roundabouts, actually. So I learned how to drive in roundabouts right away
Okay.
because between my house and the shopping center is the road where there are lots of roundabouts. So I had to learn how to drive if I wanted to go shopping.
Okay. So that's usual things for you.
For me, yeah. But I think because our city has that special road, like most people know how to do it. But like my mom and my dad were pretty good about teaching us how to use the roundabout.
And there's not many roundabouts around here where we live.
No, not at all. There's one actually in Okayama.
And it has only one lane.
Has only one lane, really?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought so.
It's very small, right?
It is.
So if it's only one lane, like you can get the feel of a roundabout, but you don't really learn how to change lanes while you're going around in the circle.
Yeah.
Which is the tricky part. That's the tricky
is.
part.
It is.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know how to get out from this multi-lane roundabout,
Yeah.
you would trapped in this roundabout, and it's like trapped in merry-go-round.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
Although I've never had to go around more than I needed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like because I kind of know in my city, I know where I'm going. And so I know which lane I need to be in. But that said, if I were to go to like a different city that I didn't know, I might have trouble. I would have to go around a few times before I could exit.
I'm surprised because you never missed the exit you want to take.
No, because I know exactly where I want to go.
And when I was in Australia, this guy from France, he drove a car and then I was on the back seat. And I don't know how many times he drove the same lane, but he was on the roundabouts a few times, a few rounds.
Was he serious or was he playing with you guys? He's teasing you like, oh, we're good at trapped in here.
Half and half. He didn't. I think he didn't really know which exit he had to go.
Okay, so even though he might know how to do the roundabout, he doesn't know where he's going.
Right.
And that's fair. Because I think they do have roundabouts in France and England. Because the good thing about roundabouts is they are good for saving energy. Because you're not stopping and starting your car a lot. Like with the stoplight or a stop sign, you're not doing the stop go. You keep going. So actually, it's more energy efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like my neighborhood, it looks better.
Okay, so thanks to Hiro-san, your story inspired today's entire episode.
All right, thank you, Hiro-san. Yeah, I can see where he would be scared.
Yes.
But just look and see how other people are driving and kind of follow.
Yeah, and this reminds me of how difficult it is to drive in foreign countries.
Yes.
So here's something that might surprise you. Tourist driving accidents are actually on the rise, but there's a twist.
Okay, well, the tourists having accidents is not a surprise, actually, but what is the twist?
So traffic accidents involving foreign drivers have been on the rise. And 7,268 cases in 2024.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Around 2,400 cases in 2019.
Okay. But is this foreign tourists? Because you said foreign drivers. Is this foreign tourists or people like me that are foreign that have lived in Japan for a long time? We don't know, right?
Oh, I don't know that part.
Okay, yeah, we don't know.
But mostly, I don't know.
There's probably more tourists, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people are renting cars, actually. After the pandemic, a lot of people have been renting cars.
Yes.
Tourists, I mean.
The short-term tourists, they use either an international driving permit or a foreign license plus translation.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay. I don't know. I think all the countries, like where I'm from, we have to have an international driving license. So you have to, like if I'm American, you have to, while you're in America, you have to go and convert that to an international driving license. And then you bring that to Japan and you can drive in Japan on that. But it's only good for 1 year.
Okay.
So, like, if you're a long-term resident like me, then you have to change to a regular Japanese license, right? So tourists can use those.
When I stayed in Australia, I didn't have this international driving license, so I have made this translation for my driver license.
Okay.
For those people who doesn't know this, some country doesn't allow foreign tourists driving in other country. It's extremely difficult for them.
Oh, I see.
But when they came to Japan, they can get driver license here in Japan.
Okay. I see now.
So they would have a Japanese driver license.
Okay.
And they can convert this to the international driving permit.
Right. So then if they travel to like Europe or America or Australia, they would use the international permit, but that's based off of the Japanese license.
Yep.
Okay. So then Japan is kind of looking bad when they have an accident.
Yep.
I see. I don't know about that, so I trust you. I trust you.
Since we have this kind of a problem, rising accidents and some people sneak into other country with this international driver permit. Japanese government going to get stricter on this driving license test.
Okay. For tourists and for people like that who kind of abuse the system, I guess that's good.
Yes.
For people like Americans, because we drive on the opposite side of the road, like Japan drives on the left, Americans drive on the right. So we don't have to take a paper test. We have to take a very easy paper test, very short one, and then we have to take a practical test. But the practical test is really, really strict, really strict. So if it gets stricter than this, that would be very hard for most people to pass, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The test itself is going to get harder.
Okay.
Like now there's only 10 questions.
Yeah, that's the one I took. I took the question once to change my American license to the Japanese license.
Oh, okay.
We take a 10-question test, and then we take the actual driving test on the, what is that called? It's not like a field. It's like the course. Sorry, that English word escaped me. I forgot English. Driving course.
Driving course. Okay.
Yeah.
And the passing score raised from 70 to 90.
Okay, it's 90 for Japanese people, though, so it should be 90 for us, too. That's not unfair.
Of course, and the practical driving test?
Yeah, it was already very strict.
Uh-huh.
My guy, the guy who was checking me, yelled at me.
Oh my God.
Literally, he yelled at me. It was very scary. And I'm like, I don't even know what I did wrong. Why is he so angry?
So this rule will be changed in the October 1st, 2025.
Okay, so coming up soon.
Yep.
Okay. Well, for tourists, that might be good, actually, because there's a lot of problems with driving. So just from what I have seen, because I'm involved with a tourists page on Facebook, there are lots of people coming to Japan from, for example, Southeast Asian countries, and they want to see snow. Like you mentioned, going on skiing trips. They want to see snow. They've never seen snow in their country. But the problem is they're not used to driving on snow and ice. Like, it's a very different thing to drive on a snowy street. It's very dangerous. And I think there was a case last year or the year before. A family from Singapore died because they were involved in an accident. Their car slipped and hit another truck or something, and the family died. So, like, it's very, very scary.
It is.
Actually, yeah. One more problem with tourists coming over to Japan is, like, Western tourists can't read kanji. So, like, if there's English on the signboard, it's fine. But, like, a lot of people, you know, if, for example, if they're going to a direction, they don't know, like, what else is in that direction. So, for example, we were on the highway yesterday. We were going somewhere. And you go through the ETC toll gate, and it says for, what did it say? For Sakaide or for Okayama? But if you don't know where Sakaide is, how are you going to choose, right? You have to know, like, where you're going, really, or use a navigation system or Google Maps or something. Because, you know, it was in English, it was in Japanese, that's okay. But, like, you have to know where you're going, and you have to be able to read the kanji in some cases.
Yes.
Because not all the signs are in English.
Yes.
Like tomare is in Japanese, right? So things like that. People don't know how to read the signs or how to, you know, use the highways, things like that. Could be very dangerous.
Yes. And the road is not always the same. Sometimes you see a car blocking the way you go.
Right.
And you have to maybe take a detour, or you have to somehow avoid this car.
Yeah.
And I go a different road. So it's really depending on the situation of a road.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that happened a few weeks ago. There was construction going on, and they were detouring people. They were telling people to go around. But, like, I didn't know the area. I was in Okayama, but I don't know all the areas. So it was telling me to go a different way. And I'm like, but I don't know, like, when I go that way, am I going to get lost? I did get lost, by the way.
I get lost when I was driving from the Nagoya to the where
you were going up to northern Kyoto, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like a road you've never been on.
Yeah, that was really scary.
Road?
The mountain road. But in the night time, I couldn't see mountain, but it's scary, isn't it?
That would be very scary. That'd be very scary.
I could barely see a snow mountain.
Oh, yeah, that'd be very scary.
And then, people drive really fast.
Yeah. They do. Japanese people drive really fast on your bumper. They get on your back bumper and they go fast.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, please go first. Go around me. You can go first. I don't mind. Go first, please.
There's only single lane
yeah.
on this highway.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's scary.
So I was kind of a novice about driving this highway.
Of course, yeah.
And then I see, the signboard. There's a barricade there on the highway.
Oh.
And it says, please go exit.
Oh, okay.
And I was suddenly panicked because...
Yeah, suddenly lost.
Suddenly where... I came to nowhere, literally nowhere.
Yeah. And this is even in Japan. This is not even a foreign country.
Yeah. That was a really stressful time.
Yeah.
Anyway, driving another country is extremely stressful. I have other stories to tell, but maybe this is another time.
Another episode?
Another episode.
I don't have many stories to tell, actually. I've driven only in Japan and America. But I think you've driven in more countries, right?
A little bit. Just
I've only
a few.
driven in Japan. Japan is okay, but there are some differences. So, yeah. I made a few mistakes when I started driving in Japan that were kind of, looking back, they're kind of funny, but they could have been dangerous.
Yes. It is dangerous.
Yeah. So there's definitely different rules, like driving rules, and there's also different customs for driving.
Yeah, of course, there is.
Yeah, for example, an easy one, for example, on a narrow road in Japan, if you stop and you let someone pass by, if it's only a one-lane thing and you let someone pass by, they'll kind of boop, boop, honk at you. Mm-hmm. But if someone did that in America, I would be angry. Why is he honking at me? I would get angry. Yes. Usually we just wave, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, but in Japan, it's in some places it's they honk boo boo as a thank you,
or they wave.
Waving's okay.
Wave or
yeah, in America we wave
high
too.
Five.
Yeah, that's fine. We can understand that in America. That's fine.
So you don't wave, you don't honk in America.
No, honking is very rude.
Yeah, I heard it in Australia as well.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only honk when we're angry. We don't honk to say thank you.
I don't know about this custom, but there used to be this custom before. When you lit the hazard 5 times.
Oh.
It means something.
I heard about this really recently.
Really?
Yeah. Aishiteru. So when you're going away from your boyfriend or your girlfriend and you're waving goodbye or whatever, if the hazard lights light up 5 times, it means aishiteru rashi yo. That's what someone told me, and I was like, what? Okay, whatever. That's a Japanese thing. We do not do that in America. We do not do that in America. We do not use our hazard lights that much. So even in Japan, you put your hazards on to back up into parking. We don't do that.
Oh.
We just back up. Actually, we don't back up. We pull in forward.
Oh, really?
We pull in head first. We don't back into a spot.
I use hazard a lot, especially when I park.
Yeah, Japanese people do. When we pull over, yes, we do. Because we want people to know, okay, we're kind of stopping temporarily. Please go around. But we don't use hazards to back up, and especially not for parking.
Oh.
Yeah, and the aishiteru is definitely Japanese.
Sure, of course.
Because English has more letters. It would have to be, how many times? I-L-O-V-E-Y-O. You have to be 8 times in English.
8 times at least.
Not 5.
Ooh, okay. Okay, we talked about international driving today a lot.
Yeah.
I want to hear from listeners. Have you ever drove other countries?
Yeah, if you have tried to drive overseas, let us know. How did it go?
Have you ever been completely lost or confused while driving in a foreign country? Or have you ever had an accident?
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
Please say no. I hope not.
Yeah. And we are always looking for new episode ideas. What would you like to hear us talk about next?
Okay, you can send us your comments. Send us comments on email or on YouTube in the comments section. You can also find us where? On X and Instagram. You're welcome to send us a message at any of those places.
Okay, that's all for this episode, but don't forget, catch our next one.
Okay, this is CrossTalk, signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining.
Bye.
Bye.